Hi, I'm Mike Regan with Transact's 2-Minute Warning for the week of October 19th. If you're looking for ways to reduce your transportation costs, even though your rates are going up, stay tuned for this week's 2-Minute Warning. A couple of weeks ago, I was invited to give a presentation to the Gartner Group, and what they asked me to speak about was our presentation called Predictable Surprises. Now, if you've watched these 2-minute warnings, you'll know that about a month ago, we mentioned this and encouraged you to download a copy of it because it's available at transact.com. Now, let me try and succinctly summarize why we are getting such strong feedback on this presentation. One of the things we highlight are the factors at work which are driving a carrier's cost higher, which will result in higher rates for shippers. Now, the choice that we give people is that you can sit back and do nothing, maintain the status quo, and watch those rates get higher, or you can be proactive and look at the practices and processes which drive your transportation costs, because it is our contention and something that we can substantiate that there are significant savings available if you will look at those practices and processes. Well, when we talk about rates going up by 20 to 25% and savings potential of 20%, that's a pretty wide delta. So some of you got back to us and said, how would you achieve these savings? Can you give us some practical examples? And here's what I want you to do. I want you to go to transact.com, download a copy of the presentation, and go to the slide where we talk about if you want to reduce cost when rates are going up, look at your practices and processes. Why do I want you to look at that slide? Because we give you some examples of where there are substantial savings. Look at the advantage of an effective transportation management system. Look at the opportunities associated with implementing an inbound transportation management program. If I want to take a look at how I'm operating my docks, there's savings there. I mentioned before in a 2-minute warning the Iowa State study that talked about the financial impact of dwell time. I could go on and on. I was sharing this with a good friend of mine, Mark Bataska, and he talked about how his company spent about $15,000 to create a space for drop trailers. Something as simple as a space for drop trailers resulted in a significant reduction in their truckload rates because it's giving the carriers the kind of flexibility they need to serve your business. Folks, we could go on and on. Let's make this simple. Go to transact.com, take a look at the Predictable Surprise presentation, and then give us a call. We're experts at helping companies reduce their transportation costs. And we love to do this because, as we remind you on each and every 2-minute warning, we're on your team, we're here to help, and we are passionate about helping you do a great job. Thanks for your time.